Hello. So I guess the countdown happened, and according to what I'm looking at on here, we are now live. I'm going to check the audio just to make sure that everything's working okay before we get too far in. I always like to double check that to make sure that it's working. Anyway, welcome back to Shop Talk at Music Man's Garage. Let's go ahead and start this party. Ha ha. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, all right. Well, I saw that one person tapped in and then quickly tapped right back out. Probably got a notification on their phone and busy doing something. But hey, listen, I just wanted to welcome everybody to Shop Talk. It is July the 1st. Guess what? June's over with. And what a crazy month it was. June was crazy. And exciting at the same time. But you know what? Maybe I wonder if I should leave my headphones on. That way I know. I'm going to try that once. I know it's a little bit different, but then I can make sure that I don't spike the microphone. I don't want to do that. I noticed that the last couple of times I went live, I did that. So I'm going to try this once. And you guys make a comment. Tell me what you think about it. If it looks weird, I guess, whatever. I look weird anyway, so I have a couple of different views here. Anyway, if you would pop in, when you pop in, stop by, send me a chat, let me know where you're from, and if I don't recognize your call sign or whatever, I would love to meet you. This is Music Man's Garage, and we are doing Shop Talk on July the 1st. So if you have any questions or anything you want to put in the chat, go ahead and do that. That way I know you're here. That way I know you're listening. And if there's something that maybe I can help you with, that would be cool too. I do want to start off with just basically saying that I am actually pretty excited about the growth of my channel. I decided around the middle of September after Fall Fest last year, I decided that I was going to go ahead and try to, do a YouTube channel. And I started basically officially, I guess I want to call October 1st the time that I started officially. And so I've only been doing this since October 1st. So I am learning as I go. I'm not perfect. I have a lot to learn yet. Try to make it the best I possibly can for everybody involved. I want my audio to be right. I want the visual to be right. And so I'm constantly experimenting with stuff, doing research and trying to make sure that everything is right. Now, my goal is to have 1,000 subscribers by October 1st of 2025. That would be 1 year from when I started this channel. And right now, I'm at 405. So, woohoo, 95 more, and I will be halfway there. I'm really excited about that. I know that, it's growing a YouTube channel is not always easy. Sometimes you go through times where you get discouraged. I have done that a couple of times, and I've wondered if people really like what they see, or if they're just like stopping by and then they don't ever come back. I don't know. But anyway, I get discouraged, and then something happens, and then things go really well, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep going. Like, I have to keep going. And in the process, there have been quite a few things that I've learned along the way, but I'm still actually learning. So, I just wanted to tell you that I appreciate your support, and I honestly, the live is a little bit weird when you're talking to a camera and you don't think anybody's there. So that's really one of the most difficult things to do, is talk and not even know if someone's watching or listening. So anyway, I know that a lot of times after the live closes out and it actually goes onto the internet, I know a lot of people have, watched the show, and that's cool. I think the best one I had so far was like 55 views or so, which is pretty cool. I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm still learning, and I was trying to do this every single week, and I realized that I just can't do it every week. So anyway, moving forward, we're going to run out of time if I keep yammering on about stuff. So anyway, I wanted to basically tell you that I have to get this out of the way. I have a couple of companies that have decided to get on board already with Music Man's Garage. And the first one is Ecamm Live. That's the software that I use to do my live broadcast. And also, I've discovered that you can actually use Ecamm Live to record an actual show. And if you see my latest video of the water bottle called, made by Coldest, I actually recorded that on Ecamm Live here in my studio. And so I think that's pretty cool. You can, even though it's called Ecamm Live, you can still record and edit and post a video to your channel with the software. So shout out to Ecamm Live. I love it. If you're looking for something, make sure you check the description down below. There's a link to it, and it will obviously help my channel grow more. So I appreciate that. Obviously, Dead Brand Designs, he's the guy. Chris is the guy that does all my plaques for shows and things of that nature. This is actually the plaque from my 24 collector's edition Panther. I kept it as a keepsake. It's pretty cool. But I do have one. I do have one on my current car, which is my SS1LE. And as you can look under the hood, you can see that I have the plaque there. So here's a better view of it. It's right here. There's the plaque. And then I have this show board. The show board is, what you put up in front of your car when you're at a show. So yeah, Dead Brand Designs. And then of course the latest one is Coldest. They reached out and said, hey, we saw that you bought one of our mugs, and we also see that you have a YouTube channel, and we were wondering if you were interested in collaborating with us. And so there's a link again in the description below. I will never put anything on Music Man's Garage that I don't either use or believe in myself. Like, for instance, Corvettes, I believe in them. I don't have one, but I believe in them. And I want one real bad. So anyway, there's that. So moving forward, Speaking of Corvettes, there is something that I need to correct from the last time I went live. Obviously, 2 weeks ago, everything, all the exciting news was that they had released the ZR1X, the title. They decided to call it the X, and I jumped on board with that. It was an exciting time, and in my live, I actually said that the electric motor had 160 horsepower in the front of the car, and that is numbers that I read, and I was looking at them here on my desk when I read that. But then I realized that I was reading the horsepower for the E-Ray electric motor. For the ZR1X, they have actually upgraded that electric motor, and that electric motor has 186 horsepower, which combined with the 1,064 of the internal combustion engine, it comes up to 1,250. So I wanted to make sure that I corrected myself, because I did in fact get that wrong 2 weeks ago. And again, everything that I do isn't perfect, but when I realize I made a mistake, I want to make sure I correct it. So I wanted to go ahead and start my show with doing that and letting you know that I made a mistake. But 1,250 horse on the ZR1X includes 186 horsepower for the electric motor in the front and 1,064 horse with the ICE. So anyway, moving forward. So what I like to do on the show is I like to talk about shows from things that I did leading up to today, and then things that I plan on doing moving forward. So I literally, like a day and a half before, let's see if I can pull up my calendar. I guess it was like maybe the 19th or 20th. I was chatting with a friend on Facebook Messenger, and he mentioned that he was going to go to Akron, Ohio for the Camaro versus Mustang showdown. And I'm a member of the NEOCC. And so I decided at the last minute, I was actually just going to go to a show here close by. And I decided, you know what? I'm a member of this club, even though they're in Akron, which is literally over a 3-hour drive for me. I still want to try to make some of the functions over there. The people in this club are incredible. The president is amazing. His name is Morgan. He is amazing. I've met a ton of friends just in less than a year being a member of the NEOCC. So I decided literally last minute that I was going to get up early on Saturday morning, the 21st, and I was going to drive to Akron, Ohio for a show. So I'm pretty sure that's the longest that I've ever gone for one day, and it was totally worth it. And what I have here, I want to show you a couple photos. I actually have a video on my channel. This is my car actually set up at the Camaro versus Mustang showdown. And so I'm just going to gently page through some photos. I actually used most of these photos in my video that I did. I put together a video and put on my channel. And if you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. It's not very long. It's pretty cool. I think it is. And so according to, I really wasn't planning on talking about all the cars in the photos because I don't know about every single car. But before I move on, I do want to tell you that this car right here is extra special, not just to me, but it's actually really special. This is a ZL1 1LE in Riptide Blue, and according to resources, this is the only one ever made. And it was about 2 or 3 cars down from where I was parked. One of the reasons that it's special to me is because I actually built a 2SS 1LE in Riptide Blue. And then when it came in, I passed on it because I had already purchased a collector's edition Panther. So anytime I see this color, it just literally almost makes me want to cry that I didn't get the Riptide Blue that I ordered, because this color is amazing. And the gentleman that owns this car is a lucky man. It is one of my favorites at the car show. I'm just going to tell you, for my own personal reasons. One, it's got the 1LE package. Two, it's got the color that I love. And the fact that it's a ZL1 on top of all that, and one of one, is just absolutely incredible. Now, moving right along, I'm just going to go ahead and page through some of the photos that I have. Obviously, I've got 3 of this car because I love it. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, the car show over there was incredible. The weather was perfect. It did, in fact, warm up as the day went on. And the show was from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. And I actually ended up leaving a little bit early because I had not had anything to eat, and I'm diabetic. So I was pretty strung out. And plus, I knew that I had a pretty long trip back home. So I went ahead and bailed, and I went down the road and grabbed a sandwich and then headed back home. But there were a ton of amazing cars there, and it was a fantastic show. I'm telling you, it was just absolutely incredible. And I was able to, to just hang out with friends that, like I said, I've met several friends there. We hung out and enjoyed looking at each other's cars, meeting Mustang people, because, typically Camaro people hang out with Camaro people, and Mustang people hang out with Mustang people. So it was nice to be able to, talk to some of these other car owners and get ideas and find out, about the love of their car. And there were a lot of incredible cars there. So I just wanted to share a few photos with you on that car show. This was actually inside the Summit Racing. And the last thing I'm going to say about this is the numbers were, it's kind of a little bit of a competition, all in fun, of course, but 198 Mustangs registered and 128 Camaros registered. Now, I have a theory on that, and my theory is that one of the reasons why we were missing several Camaros is because there was a big GM show going on in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And I talked to a couple of my friends, and they said that they knew of several people from the Akron area and the NEOCC club that actually went to that show in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why there was a 70-car gap between 198 Mustangs and 128 Camaros, which is okay. It was still a lot of fun. I had a blast, and that's just my take on it. I don't know for sure, but it seemed like quite a large gap. 70 cars is quite a bit. So anyway, so that was the 21st of June. and I'm going to refer to my notes because I'm an old man and I got to check on my notes, right? So, yeah. Anyway, so last Saturday was June 28th, and I actually had an appointment to shoot a couple videos on a guy's car. And I was pretty excited about that. But then I ended up running into two other people, and one guy had a 69 Camaro Yanko, which was amazing. And he just like out of the blue said, "Hey, I would love to do a video with you, but let's not wait. Let's just do it now. Come over to my house after the show and we'll do it today." And I was like, okay, well, that sounds like a plan. So that's exactly what I did. I went over and did a video on this gentleman's car. It's beautiful. And I thought I'd show you a photo of that real quick. But so I got 4 videos in one day. And it used to be when I first started doing this, I felt like I was actually working on chasing people down. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm chasing people down, but I know sometimes schedules conflict and people have other stuff going on. And with me working 55 hours a week, sometimes I just absolutely don't have time. So it feels pretty good when people just voluntarily go, "Hey, let's do that. Let's do the video." And so I got 4 in one day. The Camaro, another gentleman has a 79 Camaro. He's the only owner. He bought it new. We're going to talk to him. I'm going to put a video of his up. And then he bought a convertible Skylark for his wife and did a frame-off restoration on that car. So those videos are coming up. Make sure you stop back and check on those. So I just wanted to touch real quick on those 2 items. And then now I want to talk about July, because today's July 1st. First, happy birthday, Corvette. That was yesterday, 1953, June 30th, 1953. They're celebrating 72 years. Wow. So happy birthday, Corvette. Now let's talk about July. July is an absolute crazy month for the music, man. I'm telling you what, I'm excited. I had plans to go to Iowa for the 4th of July weekend, but I have recently changed those plans just because I have so much going on in July. And I wanted to just tell you, these are the shows that I plan on going to. And obviously I'll have a couple more lives in between, but I wanted to tell you that I plan on being at all 3 of these shows. I was actually going back and forth with, I'm too old to do 3 shows in a week, 3 shows, 3 weekends in a row. And so I scheduled one, and then I decided not to go to one, and then I scheduled it back again. So the first show coming up is the weekend after the 4th of July, and that is the 11th through the 13th, and it's called Camaro Superfest, and it is in Michigan. Now, last year, I knew about the show, and I decided the day of the show that it was too hot. I'm not going. Like, the weather looked like it was going to be ridiculously hot. So I decided not to go. Well, guess what? Car show season is during the summer, and I have decided that I don't want to miss it. So I am going this year. I have reservations to go. I have registered and paid my dues, and I'm going to go. So I'm looking forward to that, the 11th through the 13th. Now, that is on Friday night. I know they have a cruise in. they have some sort of a like it's almost kind of like a poker run, like they do for motorcycles, but they're calling it a scavenger hunt for cars. Like you drive around from one place to another, and you find certain things, and it's not really a race. Actually, they encourage you not to race. If you get there too soon, then you get penalized some way, or I don't know. But that's an activity, and then they have Saturday car show and shine all day long. There's a dinner in the evening, and then a breakfast on Sunday morning, and then the show's over. I probably won't stay that whole time because I have to work Sunday night. So anyway, that's the weekend after the 4th of July, the 11th through the 13th. And then the weekend after that in Morgantown, Pennsylvania is Camaro Nationals. Now, that's the one that I was back and forth on. I decided I wanted to go, and then I decided that's too far to go. Because for me, it's 8.5 hour drive, and I'm on the thing is I'm on vacation that week. So, I have plans to go to Camaro Fest in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And I'm like, I don't know that I want to drive 8.5 hours to Morgantown, Pennsylvania for 2 days and then drive 10 hours over to Camaro Fest. So I decided I wasn't going to go. And then 2 weeks ago when I was at Camaro and Mustang Showdown, I had a couple of friends like, dude, you need to go to Morgantown, Pennsylvania. It's an incredible show. So since then, since then I have decided that, in fact, I am going to go to Camaro Nationals, and I'm excited about that. Like, I have taken a couple of extra days off of work to make all that happen. So I will be in Morgantown, Pennsylvania, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday morning, I'm going to get up and drive over to Bowling Green, Kentucky for Camaro Fest, and that happens between July 24th through July 27th. Now, I'm really excited about that one, and the reason why is because for the first time ever, I am going to go on the road course. I can't wait. I am so incredibly excited about doing that. Now, last year at Camaro Fest, I did the drag race, but I wasn't really competing in a race. I just wanted to, for the first time ever, run a vehicle down the drag strip. I've worked at drag strips tons in the motorcycle community as a member of the Christian Motorcyclists Association. I have worked many, many hot drag strip days in the motorcycle world at a drag strip. I've never taken a motorcycle down the drag strip. I'd never taken a car down the drag strip or a truck. But last year I did that at Camaro Fest, and that was a blast. I'm telling you, it was a blast. So I'm excited about doing that again this year, especially after having all the mods done that I've had done to my car. I'm not trying to break anything. I'm not trying to become a professional race car driver. That's not my point. I'm doing it just for track day and for the idea of having fun doing it. And so I am looking forward to that. And of course, like I said before, the first time ever road course at Beach Bend. I can't hardly wait. I'm so excited. I only hope that we don't get rained out. I'm going to be so bummed if we get rained out because I've been looking forward to that for ever since. I'm pretty sure that I bought my ticket the day that thing went live because I had my vacation and everything already in place. So Have you taken a car down the drag strip or a motorcycle? If you have, how many times have you done that? Leave a comment. Let me know. Send me a chat. Tell me what you've done before and what your time was. I know my time, the first time I did it, I got a red light, and I think it was over 13 seconds. The second time I did it, I actually beat a ZL1, and my time was 12.94, and that was a stock motor, 100% stock. My car's not stock anymore, so I can't wait to do that this year. And like I said, if you've done it, let me know what you did and what your time was. I would love to know. And anyway, so the other thing that I wanted to tell you is that I plan on, at some point in each one of these shows, I plan on going live mobile. Obviously, that's different than doing this live show. This is in my studio. And going live at a show is with your phone. So the things will be a little bit different. Now, the one and only time that I ever went live on my cell phone on YouTube was one night before I went to Chicago in the semi. I did it just because I wanted to see if it worked and see how it worked. And it was pretty successful. And then the second time I went live on my cell phone on YouTube was at the Rod and Custom Show here in Fort Wayne. And that ended up working out pretty good, except the last 20 minutes of that show, that live got cut off because I was down in the basement in the Coliseum in Fort Wayne. And with all the concrete, I guess, around it, it really affected the signal. And so part of my live got cut off and deleted. So when it got posted onto my channel, it didn't exist. It wasn't there. So the first 25 minutes or so, it is on my channel if you want to check it out. But I do plan on going live at each one of these shows. I'm not sure how long it will be. I'm thinking maybe only 15 or 20 minutes just to kind of give you a real quick look at each show. And I'll try to find a good hot spot, where all the activities are going on. And I'm going to try that. So again, I'm a beginner, so cut me some slack. And I do plan on going live at some of those shows. So also, I wanted to put on here that if you are at one of these shows and you see me, and you recognize me, or maybe you don't recognize me, maybe you know somebody that knows me or whatever, please say hi to me. Connect with me. I would love to meet you. I would love to see your car. I'd love to have a chat with you. That's what this is all about. That's the reason why I started Music Man's Garage, is because I have absolutely fallen in love with the idea of going to a car show or a Cars and Coffee and talking to people about their car. Like, I don't care what kind of car it is. I don't care really what make it is. I don't care how old it is. I don't care how new it is. One of the things that I've found out is that people, when you go to a car show, Cars and Coffee, they like to talk about their car. I mean, it's their baby. It's their pride and joy. And that's really what this is all about. And I just kind of basically ran with it, and I decided, you know what? Not only am I going to talk to these people and become friends with them, but I want to do a video on their car and put it on my channel. And it actually is for two reasons. One, it lets you guys look in and actually see the inside of these people's cars and maybe even hear the story behind their car, because a lot of these people have a story behind their car. Like, I know one guy had a 68 Camaro, had to get rid of it because he got married and had kids. And later on in life, when things changed, he bought another car just like it, refurbished it, and kind of brought back that memory from the one that he had. And there's a story. Usually there's a story behind every car. There's a story behind mine. Mine's only a 23, but there's still a story behind it. There's a story about how I got it, how I ended up with it, how I went through 2 other cars to land on the one I have. And so that's one of the main reasons why I decided to do Music Man's Garage. That's one of the reasons why I decided to, have shop talk and to meet people, because really it's about the people. It's about making friends. Like, okay, I'm going to back up a little bit. So last year at Fall Fest, I was standing by my car and a gentleman came up to me and he's like, "I love your car." And I said, "Thanks." And his name is Brad. And he said, "I have the same car." And I'm like, "You do? Well, where's it at? I want to see it." He's like, "It's at home in the garage." And I'm like, "Dude, what do you mean it's at home in the garage?" He said, "Well, it rained all night last night." And he was right. It rained hard all night Friday night. And it was chilly Saturday morning. And so he came to the car show from Columbus, Ohio, and didn't drive his car. And over that time frame, we became friends. Like, we chat on Facebook Messenger. He's a great dude. Like, I consider him a good friend of mine now. And he has the same exact car I got, except his is better. His is a 2SS, right? 2SS. Oops. 2SS 1LE 2024. Mine's a 1SS 1LE, and it's a 23. And so Brad and I, we basically have the same car, and he's a friend, and he is. I connected with him. He's the guy that said, "I'm going to the show. You need to go to the show." I went to the show. So I hung out with Brad all day. We parked next to each other. We had a great time. Hopefully someday I get to do a video on his car. It's incredible. Like, we met in Mansfield, and for the last hour on our way to the car show, the Camaro versus Mustang car show, we were pretty much riding side by side or following each other, and we found our way to the show. We had a great time. Afterwards, we went out, grabbed a sandwich, and then he went back to Columbus, and I came back to Fort Wayne. And again, I think that's really what this is all about, is making friends and connecting with people that have the same passion. And that is really my emphasis, is if you see me, or if you know of me, or if you want a video done on your car, I would love to shoot a video on your car if I have time. Honestly, my schedule is crazy. I have people reaching out to me now asking to do videos on their cars, which I love that. That's awesome, because I want to know about you. I want to know about your car, and I would love the opportunity to put your car on my channel. And again, that's what Music Man's Garage is all about, is variety. I don't care if you have a Mustang. I don't care if you have a Plymouth Cuda. I don't care if you have a Dodge Challenger, a Dodge Charger. It doesn't matter. Hellcat, whatever it is, I want to meet you. I want to see your car. So if you see me at one of these shows, obviously the next 3 weeks after the 4th, I'm going to be at Camaro stuff. So even then, I still want to find out about your Camaro. I want to see it. Show it to me. Tell me about it. Tell me the story. I have a few friends that I met last year from the NEOCC. Kim and Dale, I'm coming for you. I want videos on your cars. So anyway, I think we are past the half hour. We're at 40 minutes, and I said that I would try to keep this show a half hour long. But I just wanted to say, hey, you know what? I like doing this. It's a lot of fun. And so if you see me at a car show or if you run into me, make sure you say hi. The other thing that I was going to actually also say is that I have some Music Man's Garage hats being made. I don't know if they're going to be ready yet for when I go to Morgantown, Pennsylvania. I don't know that they will be ready for Michigan. I don't know for sure. I reached out to the guy that my neighbor that is doing it, and I didn't get a response before I went live, and that's okay. But I only have a few, and I'm not trying to get rich off of selling hats. I have to buy the hat, and I'm gonna actually, I have less than 10 for sale, and I'm asking $25 for a hat. It actually looks just like this. This is the hat that I'm gonna use to represent Music Man's Garage. So it's basically a trucker's hat. It's one size fits most. So if you come by the car, if you see SICK 1LE at the car show and you decide you want a hat and you want to help support Music Man's Garage, I would appreciate it. Yell at me and pick up a hat from me. That would be fantastic. So anyway, I guess I have to go drive a semi now and go to Chicago. But I did want to say thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me today on Shop Talk. And I will be back in 2 weeks. And 2 weeks from today is the 15th. And we can reconnect on the 15th and talk about what happened up in Michigan. And then we will be really super stoked about coming up after that, because that's when I have literally 10 days off, and I'm going to be in 2 different car shows. So thanks for hanging out with me today on Music Man's Garage Shop Talk, and I will see you next time.